We're in San Francisco, California, the epicenter of the world's greatest creative class. All of the big companies are here. Today, I'm going to introduce you to the CEO of a company that markets products, services, and companies to Hispanics, California's largest, most exploding population group. It's no surprise it happens here. We're at Alcance Media Group. Alcance means to reach out. We'll reach out with the CEO, Christopher Stanley, next. From CBS Interactive and KCBS All News 740 and FM 1069, I'm John Scott. This is Homegrown CEO.
Hello all, I'm Chris Stanley. I'm the founder and CEO of Alcance Media Group. Okay, I actually living in San Francisco, working for some local companies during the dot-com bubble. When that bubble happened to burst, I decided it was a great opportunity to go and learn Spanish. So I went down to Guatemala for some classes. Was planning on living in Chile for 1 year, and I ended up staying for 4 years.
So I heard today on NPR that the number of 12 to 21-year-olds in California is now majority Hispanic or Latino. That's an incredible explosion of young people in just a few years, right?
Absolutely. The census data just came out earlier this week for California, and the state is now at 38% Hispanic.
In serving this community, what have other media buying agencies and ad agencies, where did they fall short, where you saw the hole to do this as a company?
Well, one of the things in working with other ad networks is a lot of the pressure had been to just create these massive networks with billions and billions of impressions. What we decided to do was do something that was a little more working for the quality. We're actually targeting quality. So from starting out with a top ad server from a local Google, actually purchased DoubleClick, working with them to working with news media publications that are reaching out to the Hispanic community already.
Example. How is the messaging for one of your clients, Disney, different for specific communities? Is it language only? Is it imaging? There's a lot of nuance there. How do you approach that with Disney's a big client, so can you kind of enlighten us how the messaging is different?
Okay. Well, the messaging in most cases will come directly from the client. Disney, Western Union, some of these other clients are actually very savvy marketers and have been marketing to the Hispanic community for many years. So they've actually looked at, Disney will use a combination of the images, the messaging, the family, and then you can look at another company like a Western Union, which actually goes down granular to the country of origin of somebody. They'll have a message for a Mexican in the U.S., or someone of Mexican descent versus someone who's of Cuban descent. If you're thinking about starting something on your own, here's a little advice. As you're going to hear from everyone, it takes a lot more patience than you probably expected that you had. But one of the biggest things to actually watch out for is, in my opinion, keeping a balance between work and life. Whether you're out there, you want to go spend time with your family, whether you want to surf, whether you want to go to Lake Tahoe and be in the mountains, or read a book. Make sure you have some time, because it's easy to just focus only on the work, and you're always going to have work to do, so try to maintain that balance, and you will be thinking clearer when you get back. One of the greatest lessons I learned in the first company that I started internationally was actually that despite all the problems, despite all the positive things, it is a great learning experience. While my first company was not necessarily a success, it was some of the key points that I learned from that have really helped in starting out this company. With Alcance Media Group, one of the key things with maintaining a private company in the Bay Area, you have access to a lot of free tools. There are ways to keep the costs down, and just do your best to do that and then grow.
I think you're set up. Congratulations on your success so far, and thanks for a few minutes.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, John.
Perhaps you could say to the folks, John Scott was the best interviewer I've ever met, in Spanish, of course.
Bueno, John Scott fue el mejor Oh, I don't. What's interviewer? Bueno, esto fue la mejor entrevista que he tenido en mi vida con señor John Scott.
Gracias, amigo.
Bueno.
From CBS Interactive and KCBS All News 740 and FM 1069, we'll see you next week. Our next episode of Homegrown CEO.